Here are 5 new App Store games from February 2023. This took me by surprise. Myst has been brought to iPhone and iPad. While it's a hardcore puzzle adventure game, and some of you may not be into that, it's one of the most demanding and best looking games we've seen on mobile, and uses heaps of interesting current generation gaming tech. Full mouse and keyboard support on iPad, full controller support, up to 120 FPS gameplay, support for Metal 2.1, AMD FSR 1.0 support to improve FPS at high resolutions, volumetric fog is available on the mobile version, temporal anti-aliasing, same as the Mac version, and it uses a customized version of Unreal Engine 4.27+. Sion told me on new iPhone and iPads the mobile port is somewhere between the Xbox One and Xbox Series X version. Furthermore, it fully supports Epic settings by default on M1 and M2 iPads. Myst is free to try with a one-time in-app purchase of $14.99 to unlock the full game. It is only available on iPhone and iPad, but there is a separate Mac App Store version that was released quite a while ago. In February, Virtual Programming ported The Forgotten City to the Mac App Store. It is a full video game adaptation of the Skyrim mod, which goes under the same name. The Forgotten City is a narrative-driven time loop adventure in ancient Rome. Discover the ruins of an ancient underground city, travel 2,000 years into the past, and unravel the mystery of who destroyed it by clearly exploiting the power to wind back time. Keep in mind, the Mac port has big performance issues, despite running natively on Apple Silicon. The frame rate is awful on every single Apple Silicon based Mac I've tested, struggling to get above 30 FPS at 1080p and any graphics preset, especially when exploring outside the palace. Hopefully this can be fixed ASAP, because it's amazing that this game is on Mac in the first place. The Forgotten City costs $14.99. That's cheaper than the Windows PC version on Steam, which goes for around $24.99. It is only supported on Mac. Please see a list of recommended Macs on screen now. Thanks Handy Games, you always treat us to high quality premium games on mobile. Endling has players experiencing a world ravaged by mankind through the eyes of the last fox on Earth. In this eco-conscious adventure, you must keep your little cubs alive. Do this by hunting other animals to feed your cubs, teach them new skills to make them less vulnerable, and find new layers to be safe from Mother Nature and other threats. It has full controller support and keyboard support too, awesome, and the side-scrolling gameplay works great on the touchscreen. The game only runs at 30 FPS. I hope a 60 FPS toggle can be brought in the future. Endling Extinction is forever, costs $9.99. It is only supported on iPhone and iPads. Also, unlike a lot of other Handy ports, this one has no Apple TV version. I asked Handy Games if it is coming, and they replied saying the team is working on it, but no fixed dates or guarantees yet. Revita has been brought to the Mac App Store. This one is again brought to you by Virtual Programming. It's an awesome twin-stick roguelite platformer. Players will climb a clock tower in a series of procedural rooms and go up against challenging boss fights or people, I don't know. Revita offers heaps of content, and as you play, the difficulty becomes obviously much harder, which therefore provides good balance. Tons of weapons, relics, curses, and characters to interact with are on offer too. It's a gem worth checking out. I don't recommend playing this one with a controller, as for me, it's much more comfortable with mouse and keyboard. It's also native on Apple Silicon based Macs if that's of any interest to you. Revita costs $11.99 USD. It is only supported on Mac. Hopefully it can be brought to iPhone, iPad, and even Apple TV in the future. This game isn't really Happy. Happy Game is a point-and-click adventure all about a boy's terrifying nightmares. Your goal is to try and help him escape through 3 nightmares. It's made by a team within Animator Design, and while Animator's games are usually known to be quirky, Happy Game is by far their darkest story yet. It's also very short. You can finish it in about 2 hours if you're a completionist and you know what you're doing. That being said, it is quite challenging and you can get quite confused, so it might take you longer than that. Also, when you finish it, I think you'll be thinking about it for a long time. Let me say that. I will say the touch controls are not great, especially on iPhone. Picking up and placing small items is very hard, and things that you can interact with often fall behind the home bar, if that makes sense. So you can't pick it up because the home bar is there, and then you activate it, and it's just not good. This isn't really a problem on iPad, mind you, I just thought I'd note it. Happy Game costs $5.99 USD. It is only available on iPhone and iPad. Here are some bonus games. MMORPG Black Desert Mobile has been brought to the Mac App Store for Apple Silicon based Macs. Yes, it's an iOS game, but it supports a 16:9 aspect ratio. I suggest playing it with a controller if possible. It's almost impossible to play with mouse and keyboard. It doesn't really work. Ultra Blade is a pixel rogue-like survival RPG. It's maybe a Dark Souls take on a Vampire Survivors-like, if that makes sense. It's built for short, action-packed sessions. Dust and Neon has players enjoying twin-stick action in this shoot-'em-up where players spawn at home base, gear up, upgrade, and then pick a mission to fight. Forward Escape the Fold is an innovative game in which you will progress through a procedurally generated dungeon in the form of cards. What do you think of these new App Store games from February 2023? It was a smaller month, but we still have some excellent indie titles on offer. Okay, I don't know what else to say here. So anyway, leave a like if you found this video useful, and subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Apple gaming related. My name's Stewie, and thanks for watching.